now is, I'm particularly nervous because, I mean, these are two things that are really important to me. Right now, I have like a very special and amazing privilege, one that was thrust upon me last minute this afternoon, and I'm so glad that that could happen. I get to induct now Deborah Conway as a live legend. Deborah Conway has been making music for like over 40 years, and she was one of the rare female agitators back in a really male-dominated environment, and that's been huge for me, because I remember there are times just like in 2006, I mean, that's not really that long ago by comparison of the mid-80s, where myself and Alana would be the only females that would be stepping foot on stage at a festival. And I mean, the only females, not just a performer, but also, with people behind the scenes, people doing tech. And things have changed so much. And also, it's, I got to see Do Re Mi last year when they performed at the NLMAs, and they were the reason why I bought a ticket. And I sat front row, and it was incredible. And now I get to see them again tonight. It's very exciting. And Deborah's relationship also with Willie has just been incredible too, because they make music together and they have a family together, and that's something that I have to juggle with my husband John in the Grapes. And so they've just been a massive inspiration, and I'm really excited now to say we get to watch a beautiful video that talks even more about her than I have.
This year, Deborah Conway is celebrating 40 years in the music industry, having started her career in Melbourne as a vocalist for the Benders, the sort of act which most artists earn their stripes, playing a mix of covers and originals while still at university. This is where Conway met Dorlan Bray, who sat on drums and vocals in the project. They started writing songs together, ended up relocating to Sydney in 1981, and the rest is history, as they formed Do Re Mi, the band who brought us 2 EPs, 2 LPs, and some of the most iconic hit songs from that era, including Man Overboard.
You always walk a trivia in a vase with insincere I love yous. Next door's camellias. I'm sick and tired.
The greatest singers that we have in, across genres, really. She's one of our great singers in this country.
You're right when it's gone. I'm bored staring at the ceiling while you point out.
In the 3 decades following that project's disbandment, Conway has been a part of an endless list of projects, from acts like Draw Cards, Rose Amongst Thorns and Ultrasound, to bringing together the unforgettable Broad Festival, a touring showcase of some of Australia's finest female musicians. She starred on stage and even served as the director of the Queensland Music Festival, proving herself as versatile a talent that our country has ever seen.
Come across 2 other girls. Look around, start a rumor. Jealous wife sees razor smile at parties.
Congratulations, Deborah Conway. It's great to see you acknowledged in this way by the National Live Music Awards. This sort of industry recognition is so well deserved and maybe a little bit overdue. Deborah has an amazing career, and at the core of that, for me, has been the fact that she's a committed and brilliant live performer, and that commitment has seen her undertake extensive regional touring as a regular activity. It's seen her drive projects like the amazing Broad project that puts so many outstanding Australian female artists in front of wider live audiences. At the core of Deborah's commitment to live performance, I think, is a great respect for her audience, whether it's in someone's lounge room or the Sydney Opera House. There's always a connection, and there's always a couple of transcendent moments in a Deborah Conway performance. Shout out to Willie Ziggier, an amazing and great musician, a wonderful collaborator, and clearly a great life partner. And sincere congratulations to you, Deborah Conway.
All right, this is a little love letter to my friend Deborah Conway, who I love dearly for so many different reasons. Of course, she is, as we all know, a terrific writer and great performing artist. She's at times, violent and vibrant, and also she's tender, and she is full of emotion. My fondest memories of Deborah are sprinting in a car park on a tour back in the day when we were just beautiful little nubile nymphs, naked actually, or near naked, and comparing the lift and the drift of each other's bodies across the car park. That was fun. A bit of rock and roll history for you. And the other thing I loved most as well was sharing the stage between her and Renee Geyer. Couldn't have found two people more different from each other, actually. And it was actually wonderful to get the textures and the tones. But the greatest thing that I've enjoyed watching Deborah do is encourage her three daughters, who are in their own rights, respectively, wonderful artists, singers, actors, humans, and Willie and her, just watching them raise them and get this product of these intelligent, wonderful people who will only do great things for our community and for our culture as well. So across the boards, I love her very much. Congratulations, Deb, and enjoy tonight. Have a wonderful, a big get-together with all the clans. Sorry I couldn't be there, and I'll see you on tour next year. See ya.
Congratulations, Deborah. I've always been in awe of you, your music and your live shows. And I have huge respect for your lifelong navigation of art and business. Your choice to pay local string players in your String of Pearls tour at the short-lived Van Gogh's Earlobe here in Brisbane. Your choice to bring younger female singer-songwriters out on tour on the Broad tours to reach new audiences in theatres across Australia. Your pioneering of the house concerts to reach your fans in the most intimate of settings, yet still always pay the bills. Your deep commitment to cross-cultural exploration of song and voice at the Queensland Music Festival's Island Chorus in the Torres Strait. Your decision to say yes when I invited you to perform at the 2011 Queensland Government Flood Relief Concerts, and again when you said yes to come and perform and speak at the inaugural Rock and Roll Writers Festival. Congratulations, Deborah, on this long overdue recognition of what you have given to music, your audiences, and those in the industry that have learnt from you. Respect and thank you.
Dear Deborah, congratulations on achieving this legend status. Throughout your career, it's been amazing. You've shown perseverance, versatility, foresight, sharp intelligence, and above all, an amazing heart. You're an outstanding performer. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Deb Conway. It's Dallas Frasca here. I want to let you know that you have contributed so much to the music industry, not only with your incredible body of work, but your unapologetic nature, blasting the doors open for women who didn't want to sit in the current framework of the music industry at the time. You've navigated your own path while others like myself sat back and took note. I adored watching women like yourself when I was growing up. I remember walking into a green room at a festival a few years ago, and uninvited, I just was so captivated and mesmerised by the incredible sounds and the raw talent that was coming out of that room, and you ooze it. So sorry about walking in on you on that one. You've worn many hats in the music industry over the years, including being a festival director, putting together the groundbreaking Project Broad, musicals, and your continued strong body of work. This is so well deserved. Thank you for paving the way for many women, including myself, and breaking the stigma of how to build a career in the music industry. Deb Conway, you are a living legend. Congratulations.
It's only the beginning, but I've already gone and lost my mind. I feel like making daisy chains and playing hide and seek.
Uncompromising, unequalled, unforgettable, unstoppable. The National Live Music Awards is honoured to induct Deborah Conway as the 2019 Live Legend.
Just a daydream when we go walking along the river. Watch the open ocean.
Oh.
Sort of like being at your own funeral. It's not called Live Music Legends for nothing, no doubt. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. It wasn't what I expected. I didn't expect to be overwhelmed. Wow, thank you guys. Thank you NLMA. It's a long time since I got up on stage to receive an award, like a really, really long time. And it's fantastic. Wow, you guys are tops for giving this to me. Thank you NLMA, thank you Larry, thank you Patience. Thank you all of you for turning up. I've written a few words. It's only going to take an hour. It's nothing, and I have to put my glasses on, so hang on a second. It'll be better this way. Trust me. So thank you NLMA for this honour, which in 2019 marks 40 years since I became a musician. I think... Doesn't time fly? I think my first gig was at an RMIT Archie Review night, attended by the then young architecture student Ted Baillieu. He went on to become the Premier of Victoria, and I went on to do a shitload of gigs. In early 1980, I joined Melbourne prog rock band, the Benders, and played for 8 months in a lot of venues, though not to a lot of people. I perfected the onstage bosom flash at the drummer to see if he would skip a beat, but he never did. We both got jack of it, not my bosom flashes, of course, but we both got jack of the Benders, and within the year we'd run away to Sydney to form a band. In response to the excessive playing we did with the Benders, Do Re Mi's first shows avoided the beer barns and grungier clubs and instead opted for the art spaces. After we were signed by management and record companies and the first single from our debut album became a surprising chart topper, we hit the road big time, around 300 gigs in that year. You can't really do that anymore, can you? Wonderful memories of bellowing out Bring the Hammer Down at the Trade Union Club, playing Standing on Wires at the ANU, with frenzied crowds hurling toilet rolls at the stage as stand-ins for streamers, playing Man Overboard to 100,000 people at the Milk Festival in Amsterdam, in 1986 in the Oz for Africa concert at the Sydney Entertainment Centre that was televised around the world. Unforgettable. We supported Culture Club, UB40, Simple Minds, Too Many to Remember, over 8 years, and then we went our separate ways. I launched my solo career in 1989 after a few false starts and eventually recorded what became String of Pearls. It came out in 1991, and me and my band, the Mothers of Pearl, featuring the late great Peter Jones on drums, cranked up for a year-long tour. Bitch Epic came out in 1993, and me and the Mothers, who I probably should have renamed Sons of Bitches at that point, but I didn't, hit the road again. Ultrasound was a band project, influenced, of course, by the fact that I just had an ultrasound, with the much-missed Paul Hester, and there was more touring to accompany it. But the show I remember most from that year was a duo with Willie, or perhaps it was a trio, performance at Melbourne's Comedy Theatre on the 10th of February, 1995, memorable for the gasp that went up from the audience as me and my 8.5-month-old pregnant belly bounced up and down on stage. Our first daughter was born 3 days later, probably due to the aforementioned aerobics, and maybe not curiously now, she also treads the boards. Wish they were here. You did what? You are what? Who are you? Touring and pregnancy became inextricably linked after that. Projectile vomiting is not unknown in both circles. And there were a couple of shows in 1997 memorable for all the wrong reasons. Still, the red sequin dress with the gold mesh cutout heart edged with rhinestones and stretched over my belly was a crowd favourite, and the ensuing progeny, second daughter, has become a gifted singer in her own right. I have so much to be grateful for, playing with so many extraordinary musicians that I've toured with over 4 decades of live music performance, from lush symphony orchestras to spiky avant-garde jazzes, from incredible chamber ensembles to darkly energised rock and rollers, the gorgeously talented participants of the 4 iterations of Broad Concerts, my all-female review, the cast of Always Patsy Cline, the concerts in celebration of David Bowie, and the countless completely acoustic summerwear parties or home concerts Willie and I pioneered in 2004 for thousands of lounge room listeners. There are so many people to thank over the course of a 40-year career, and I haven't got time to mention everyone's names. To all the wonderful men and women who I've ever been in a band with, some gone to God, though most still with us. You guys are the best of the best. To all the wonderful artists who ever said yes to one of my harebrained schemes. To Dorlan Bray, Stephen Phillip, Helen Carter and Keith Welsh. To Michael Gudinski, Amanda Perlman, Frank Stavala, Richard Pleasance, Peter Farnan, Andre Greenwell, John Nichols, Mark O'Mara, Pierre Baroni, Roger Grierson, James Black, Jerry Hale, Dave Williams, Vicar and Linda Bull, Jack Spira, Paulie Higginson, Miranda Brown, Deborah Murphy, Erica Hart, Paul Mason, Paul Grabowski, Kate Sobrano, to my long-suffering parents who sent me to a shrink when I joined my first band, but who eventually became my biggest fans, to my sister Shelley, who's been there through the thick and the thin, to our glorious grown-up daughters who have provided plenty of songwriting inspiration and lent their vocal talents to shows and records, and to our stalwart fans, the bitch listers, LJ, Pairs, Groups, you all know who you are, who support our shows and work so hard to spread the word beyond the coterie of followers. To all of you who have ever believed in our varied endeavours and unconventional methods, huge gratitude. But let's get back to 1991. I was putting a band together to embark on an extensive touring schedule to promote my debut album. One guitarist came highly recommended. Willie Zigger was a gifted guitar player with an unusual pedigree, having worked as a sideman jazzer for Vince Jones and other luminaries, but had also led a number of his own alternative art bands. He turned down my first offer, saying his band had a gig. Not to be deterred and frankly intrigued to meet a musician who would turn down a year's worth of touring for a single show, I pushed back my tour start date and tried again. We met for tea at my East St Kilda flat next to the Sandringham line, and thus began a partnership that has produced more than 10 albums, 4 concert series abroad, 3 children, 2 Jewish music festivals, countless live shows and concert tours, and that has inspired me for the best part of 30 years. I believe, while tonight I'm absolutely thrilled to accept this wonderful accolade, it must be shared equally with my insanely talented husband, co-songwriter, collaborator, toughest critic, father of my 3 daughters, and best friend, Willie Zigger. Homo sapiens have been participating in the creation of live music in some form or other for millennia, for sacred and secular reasons. On the other hand, the history of recorded music is a minuscule brief 130 years old, though it's had an incredible impact on how we think music should sound now. Ironically, with the advent of increasingly sophisticated methods of both documenting and distributing recorded music, we have come to an interesting historical moment in our industry. Once again, recorded music is secondary to live music. It is merely the calling card for the real deal, which happens in venues from vast to intimate everywhere. Who would have predicted that? And what a wonderfully surprising outcome. While I've heard some despairing about the decline of record sales, signalling the end of music, I prefer to believe it's only the beginning. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you very much for this. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Now, we are going to have a very special performance very soon from Deborah and Willie, but we just have a few awards to hand out in the meantime while they set up. So, once you've gone national, you go international, right? Then you go intergalactic, and if you stick around till midnight, you'll see who is crowned Best Live Act in the Unknown and Known Universe. So hang in there. But right now, here are the internationals. So, International Live Achievement bracket solo artist, Hatchie. Julia Jacqueline. Meg Mack. Stella Donnelly. And Tash Sultana. And I've got to get my envelope. The envelope is en route, so let me regale you with some tales of live music on the road. It's wild out there. Sometimes you're playing venues, sometimes you're playing other venues. Is there an envelope behind me?
No, not yet.
That's cool.
You guys are so quiet for a crowd that's been having free piss all night, by the way. You're very well behaved. And thanks for putting up with us. We spent about 3 minutes writing our banter, as I'm sure you can probably tell.
All right, just what you wanted. I have envelopes and they have winners inside. So here we go for International Live Achievement Solo. The winner is Stella Donnelly. Stella is not in the room, so I am accepting the award on her behalf. And I have a new category for you. It is International Live Achievement Band. And the nominees are Angus and Julia Stone, Gang of Youths, Oh Pep, Rufus de Soul, and the Teskey Brothers. And the winner is Gang of Youths. Well, that is the end of the international round. As I said, stick around till midnight, see what happens. Hey, gang, you want to do a cool introduction of what's happening next?
That's right. We should go like this. These guys are coming up. Get ready. They're going to play you a song.
That's so wonderful.
Mr. Willie Zigger. It's kind of hard to pick two songs, for a 40-year live career, but anyway. So I'm sorry if we don't play your favourite, but we'll give it a go.
I slid right into your hands, and you grabbed me and told me how you'd understand whatever I wanted to be. And I believed for a while you believing in me. Well, I'm turning circles again. I'm caught in a spin. I'm a half-flat trapeze to you, little world. Earthbound and dirty and still on your knees. Release me. You know I wanna come down. All the air is too thin on the ground, and my head's not clear. Way up here. Bought me what money can buy, but I don't want the world, I just want your time. I want me to drink from your cup, but baby, it's too late to kiss and make up.
turning circles again. I'm caught in a spin. I'm a half-flat trapeze to you, little worm. Earthbound and dirty and still on your knees. Release me. You know I wanna come down on the edge too thin off the ground, and my head's not clear. Way up here, release me. You and I are going nowhere. How I used to pretending to care quite some time ago, and you let it show. Maybe you think I'm unfair, but if you were in my shoes and your soul was bare, would the honey still drip from your tongue? Would you still lie with ease if your jury was hung? I'm turning circles again. Oh, well, I'm caught in a spin. I'm a half-flat trapeze to you, little worm. Earthbound and dirty and still on your knees. Release me. You know I wanna come down on the air. It's too thin off the ground, and my head's not clear. Well, please release me. You and I are going nowhere. How I used to pretend to care quite some time ago, and you let it show. Release me. Oh, come on, darling, release me. Oh, please release me. 'Cause I've been waiting, I've been holding, I've been waiting, I've been holding on so long for you to release me. One thing I didn't talk about in my speech, which I should have realised, that the thing that's so important about playing live is the sound. You can play to, like thousands of people, but if the sound's shit, you just don't have fun. But you can play to 5, and if the sound's good, you're going to have a ball. This place has great sound, just great sound. If only all venue owners had as much care. So thank you, Triffid. There's not been that many venues that I could tick off my hand and go, wow, amazing sound. It's here's to you. So, without wanting to put a dampener on the evening, it's been a very sad week for the music community. We've lost some really fantastic people. Martin Armiger, who I worked with on Sweet and Sour back in the very, very early days. I don't know if you remember that TV show. You all look like you were still in utero when that happened. But anyway, it was a kind of an influential TV show, and Martin Armiger was the producer. He was also an amazing guitar player in sports, and Eric Gradman's machine. Anyway, he died a couple of days ago. I was very sad. And Stuart Fraser, who was an extraordinary guitar player, rock guitar player, also way before his time. And then yesterday we heard about Greedy Smith, who had a heart attack in his car, and the music community is, I think, in mourning for all of those people, and we feel it too. It's very sad, and they're all great guys, and I've worked with all of them, particularly Grady, and yeah. Anyway, got to grab every minute while you can. It's better to be a living legend. And l'chaim, everybody, to life. This is called Book of Life.
Blow the horn, blow the horn, give voice to all the mournful souls who search to be reborn tonight. Forgiveness like the sharpest knife, oh God, inscribe me in the book of life. I've been hungry since before the dawn. Everybody's empty, but it's not for food. And everybody's ready here to be rescued. Examining our sins, it's hard not to conclude we're screwed. The world's in flames, these maddening days of black and white. No shades of grey to keep at bay the darkest night. There's never been a song that could save a life. Blow the horn, give voice to all the mournful souls who search to be reborn tonight. Forgiveness like the sharpest knife, oh God, inscribe me in the book of life. I've been hungry since before the dawn. Tired and full of uncried tears I still can't shed. Stored up with the unsaid things we never said. Well, you wanted forgiveness, but I wasn't ready yet. Now you're dead. To all the souls who lost themselves, I sing for you. Apart from that, there's nothing more that I can do. And though I know it's useless, it kind of helps me through. Blow the horn, Give a voice to all the mournful souls who search to be reborn tonight. Forgiveness like the sharpest knife, oh God, inscribe me in the book of life. I've been hungry since before the dawn. I wanna see my children out in the world, grown into women from little girls. Why wouldn't you want that too? The older you get, the more friends you lose. And next year I won't disappear in fire or flood. And next year I will still be here to do some good. Well, I won't be taken by pills or thrills or wine. I should be doing fine. Blow the horn, blow the horn. Give a voice to all the mournful souls who search to be reborn tonight. Forgiveness like the sharpest knife, oh God, inscribe me in the book of life. I've been hungry since before the dawn. I've been hungry since before the dawn.
Incredibly special. We're all so lucky tonight. Now, I'm here to present the award for Live Photographer of the Year. Something that I think might be a little bit complicated to do because it's usually very dark and people move around a lot. But I mean, I'm only taking photos on my phone, so I've really got no clue. I barely think about the person on the other side of the photograph, though. The nominees for this year's Live Photographer of the Year are, coming up, we've got Britt Andrews, Ian Laidlaw, Jacinda Keith, Michelle Grace Hunter, and Megan Carew. And the winner is Michelle Grace Hunter. Yes.
Be there. I'm actually currently on a world tour with Rule. We're in Dublin at the moment, which is super cool. Just wanted to say it's really awesome as a female photographer to accept this award, and I hope that it encourages lots of other young, aspiring female music photographers to go out there and kick some goals. Thanks!
Next up, we've got the award for Live Event of the Year. All fantastic events, very deserving nominees. We've got Big Sound, Dark Mofo, Groove in the Moo, Laneway Festival, and Woodford Folk Festival as well. Okay, so the award for Live Event of the Year goes to Dark Mofo. Well done, Dark Mofo. I believe they're not actually present tonight, so we will have to accept the award on their behalf and ship it to them.
It's time for the Live Instrumentalist of the Year award. 2019. Yes. Instruments. Can't live with them, can't live without them. And I learnt that the hard way. For anybody who dares to pick up an instrument, thank you. The nominees for the 2019 Live Instrumentalist of the Year are Bree Tranter, Jay Watson, Jenny McCullough, Kat Meir, and William Barton. And the award goes to Bree Tranter. It's a long walk, if we could all keep that applause going. Thank you very much.
Hello. This is pretty cool. I've never done this before, so I'm pretty nervous. But I'd like to thank the National Live Music Awards. It's pretty cool that you put this on, and I really appreciate it, I'm sure. Everyone appreciates all the work that's put into it. Larry for being a legend, all the volunteers, everyone, thank you so much. It's super nice to be acknowledged. Man, alongside so many legends as well. I never thought I would be recognised. I kind of just fell into music. I've been doing it for 15 years, which is really nice, and I've worked with so many great people that have taught me so many great things. There's been ups and downs, even Thelma Plum. Man, you taught me so much, Thank you so much. It's been an awesome ride. And I really got to thank a friend of mine. We said we'd make this year the year of music, and we've worked on so many projects together over the years. And this year particularly worked on 4 projects. And I said to him, this is our year of music. And he said it to me. I was like, fuck yeah, man. And he's the reason I got into music. I followed him to uni, and then we formed a band together in the Middle East. And then from there on, people trusted me to play music with them. And yeah, thank you so much, Rowan Jones, Year of Music.
I love friends that follow friends into music. That is a good thing to follow a friend into. Live Guitarist of the Year. We all know why everybody starts learning guitar in high school. And it's not to get chicks. Some people don't even like chicks. It's crazy. Cute little tiny yellow fluffy things. They're so adorable. It's to be cool. So I think that really this is the Live Cool Award of the Year. So let's take a look at the nominees to see who is the coolest. All right, Alex Carrington, Axel, Carla Genevieve, Erica Dunn, Stella Donnelly, and Tommy Emmanuel. Right? There's a big list. These are the coolest live people in the country. Oh my God, she is the fucking coolest. She really is. Yes, it's Erica Dunn. This is very exciting.
I had my lunch at China Roll, and then I snorted half a gram of Australia's finest.
Oh shit! We actually have the coolest person here! Yeah! Woo!
This thing really is fucking heavy. Coolest person, don't know about that. Thank you. First off, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I work and usually play music, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Very grateful to be on their land. And I also want to acknowledge that I've been very lucky to play a lot of shows this year. Not as many as Deborah, but I bloody well should be good at playing guitar by now. Public speaking, not so much, so I'll be very brief. I did want to say that my guitar teacher wouldn't read about this shit. Tommy Emmanuel, it's outrageous. Not sure about this, but stoked nonetheless. I was a kid that used to, was only ever really encouraged to strum a few chords and play Sheryl Crow at Parliament Station with the buskin situation. They used to turn the PA on when I was playing. Anyway, it's amazing that I kept it up, but it took until about my early 20s till I decided to reach out to someone in my community and say, can I actually learn how to use this thing? And congrats to Tom Lincoln for being that friend in my community who actually helped me pick up the guitar properly. And I'm just very grateful for the opportunity to play so much. And thank you, live music. Just really quickly as well to Deborah Conway. I was a little kid, and I think in grade 6 or 7, a friend of mine snuck us into the Continental Hotel, and I was lucky enough to watch her play then. And inspirational now as she was then. Thank you. Have a fucking sick night.
Next up, we have the award for Live Bassist of the Year. The nominees that we have are Hayley Manwaring, Jennifer Aslett, Jonathan Zwartz, Rosie Fitzgerald, and Sarah McPherson. Thank you, Jeremy. The Live Bassist of the Year award goes to Jennifer Aslett. Well done.
Hello. Oh, hi. I'm not Jenny. Sorry. I do play the bass, though, if anyone wants to look up Major Leagues. Anyway, I have a few words that Jenny asked me to say. So she said, hi, I feel very honoured to be amongst this group of talented people. There's a few very pivotal people in my life that I'd like to mention. My brother Julian, who introduced me to my first live gigs as a very young teen, and for giving me my first guitar. My parents, who have supported me unconditionally. Clint from my old band Guns, who first encouraged me to pick up the bass. My friends in San Francisco, and my dear friend Stella Donnelly and the rest of her band, who believed in me to share her amazing journey. I'm so lucky to be able to play with the two best drummers in Australia, Scarlett Stevens and Taylor Valenti. Thank you for always keeping me in time, my rhythm queens. I love you so much. Thank you again, everyone. Congratulations, Jenny.
All right, the next award we have is for the Live Drummer of the Year, an award called the Sheddy. Now, the Sheddy is an award named in honour of renowned drummer and journalist Ian Shedden, who was also one of the founding judges of the National Live Music Awards. So the winner of this year's the Sheddy, the Live Drummer of the Year, the nominees are Dan Williams, G Flip, Jonathan Boulay, Lauren Hamill, and Talia Valenti. The winner of this year's Sheddy is Lauren Hamill.
And then I snorted half a gram of Australia's finest homemade coke. And a child was mauled by bullets.
I'm not Lauren Hamill, but I've played 112 shows with her this year, and I would follow her anywhere. And in her loquacious stylings, I've been asked to say, cheers, Az. Thank you.
So sit tight, everyone. We've got a performance from William Barton coming up just next.
Like had to write a song Maybe just bring the Digimic a bit closer. Thanks, man. Good evening, everybody. My name's William Barton. I'm from the Kalkadunga country, far northwestern Queensland, Mount Isa. The song I'm about to sing is about the passing of the culture from one generation to the next. Thank you. I'd like to invite a very special guest up to the stage, Mr. Anthony Garcia, for our final piece.
I'm not going to be giving out an award right now, but I would like to welcome somebody on stage. He is the L in NLMAs. It's almost, we've been joking, it's the National Larry Music Awards, because Larry Heath has done so much. I've only been involved in these awards for 24 hours, and I haven't seen him sleep or eat in that entire time, and he's just been working super duper hard. So it's with great honour that I'd like to now invite Larry Heath to the stage to make this 2019 speech of his.
But I have been drinking. Thank you very much. Aren't they doing a great job tonight? Let's give it up for the hosts. There's a lot of awards we hand out here, and they are doing a wonderful job. We're actually ahead of schedule. We're going to be out of here, before tomorrow. It's great. I'm going to actually read off the script here because otherwise I'll go off on a tangent, and nobody wants that. Thanks everyone for coming to the National Larry Music Awards tonight. Before I get started with the award I'm here to present, I need to thank everyone who helped make this night a reality. First of all, to the team at the Triffid for having us here for a third time in 4 years. We'll be back here next year as well, and we're thrilled to be calling Brisbane home. I want to thank Brisbane City Council for helping make that possible, to our principal sponsor and official ticketing partner, Oztix, to Panhead and Jamison for the drinks, to FV by Peppers for being our official hotel and dressing the stage. Everything that you're seeing them sit on over there, the ottoman and the couch, that is all from your local hotel, FV by Peppers. And don't they look comfortable? I look forward to sleeping tonight for aforementioned reasons. I'd like to thank everyone who's helped me with the event. Lucy, Joseph, who's here tonight, our incredible board members, and the 100 judges around the country. A big thanks to Helen for being involved since year one for the Brisbane event. The fact that we had 12,000 votes from around the country for the 32 public voted awards, that's a first for us, and we're thrilled with the results. There's a lot of events like this that only happen when there's a big government check to make it so. But from day one, this event has been run by people who love music and want to celebrate live music. Just about every single person, including myself, donates their time to make this event happen. And so I'd like to take a moment to recognize not only our own volunteers, but the volunteers of all live music events around the country. Very few events would happen if there weren't dozens or hundreds of volunteers working on ground or behind the scenes. As much as we bemoan the nature of Spotify streaming numbers, so much of the music industry is only made possible by the blood, sweat, and tears of people who make no money and live for the art. They're the ushers, the people who clean up after you, the artist liaisons, the people who do the guest lists and give out drink tickets. They are the lifeblood of the music industry, and I want to take a moment to applaud and celebrate each and every person who volunteers for that free festival ticket or whatever that perk may be. There wouldn't be a music scene without each and every one of you, nor a National Live Music Award. So thank you to all the volunteers. Not celebrated nearly enough. Maybe we need a 77th award for them. Now in our fourth year, we've had the opportunity to award and recognize our local scene's biggest and brightest stars, but we've also had the opportunity to shine a light on acts, venues, events, and people behind the scenes who you wouldn't know. That's why I created the awards, to let parts of the industry often ignored enjoy a moment in the spotlight. Just because you don't hear about them on Triple J or see them on stage at the Arias doesn't mean that they're not doing powerful, amazing things. And I think we as an industry need to do more to celebrate each and every individual who makes the Australian live scene one of the biggest and brightest in the world. That's all of the nominees, past and future. That's all of you who have come to the event tonight. And that's these 5 nominees for our annual industry award, the National Live Music Award, the NLMA. In the past 3 years, the award has been presented to Sounds Australia, the Live Music Office, and Girls Rock Australia for their work in moving the live scene in Australia forward in every respect. So who will join them tonight? Here we go, the 5 nominees. Leanne D'Souza. Recognizing her work for 3 years as head of the Association of Artist Managers and 25 plus years as an artist manager, one of the true champions of artists and managers in this country. Let's give her a round of applause. Joel Edmondson. Recognizing his invaluable work for 4 years as head of Q Music, helping build Big Sound into the unstoppable force it's become. Scott Hutchinson, who many in this room know very well. With his nomination, we're celebrating a genuine patron of live music, who through his work with Hutchinson Builders has made the Brisbane live music scene what it is. Susan Heyman, the irreplaceable managing director of Chug Entertainment, responsible for some of the biggest tours in Australia, to say the least. And finally, the Women of Music Production, or WOMP. Recognizing this Perth-based organisation is a true honour. They are fostering a true spirit of supportive collaboration for female, transgender, and non-binary music makers to share, discuss, and showcase music production out of Perth. Let's give them a round of applause. And I am thrilled to say the winner for the 2019 NLMA is Leanne D'Souza.
Wow, thank you, Larry. And everybody that voted and considered this, it's an incredible honour. It's also an incredible honour to be here the same night that Deborah Conway is inducted into the Live Legend, which is incredibly overdue, and to be in my hometown. I'd just like to acknowledge the Jagera and the Turrbal people on lands who we are here tonight, and the tens of thousands of years of culture and history, and the song men and women that have come before us on this land. Thanks to everyone that voted. Larry, your crew, to pull this off, it's a vision and it's not to be underestimated what you've managed to do to have this. I'd like to pay kudos to the other finalists, many of whom are friends. They do so much to keep the magic of live music alive and well behind the scenes. I truly do believe that managers, agents, festival bookers, venue managers are facilitators of magic. Magic happens between an artist and their audience. And it's been a privilege to have been a part of this world for over 25 years and being a small cog in a wheel for over 1,000 shows, which is a really unofficial count. But I've been involved in so many shows since 1992 all over Australia and the world. I'd be really quick. I really want to say thank you firstly to all the tour managers, productions and crew that have had my back over the years. I'd especially like to give a shout out to Oscar Salinas, Matt Dufty, Steve Zagami and Hugh Webb. And I'd like to thank all the artists that I've worked closely with in reverse order. Thank you Thelma Plum, the Medics, Liam Gurner, Kate Miller-Heidke, the band George, Stringman Sassy, Misinterpretato, who are now known as Trichotomy, the band Seven, late 90s, and Miles from Nowhere. I'd also like to thank every single person from the music industry that I actually put on a guest list that actually showed up. And finally, I want to thank my family for all those missed dinners, school runs, and having to make your own lunches for years and years and years. This is for you, Tim, Georgina and Edward. I love you very much. Thank you.
What is jamming without Jamesons? What is Grinspoon without Jammo? Really, I mean, what's Jammo without Jammo? Just Jammo. That makes any sense. Best New Act of the Year, I would like to bring on Jameson's Liam O'Connell to present the award. And, yeah, for Best New Act. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Evening, everyone. At this stage, if you haven't guessed, my name's Liam O'Connell, and I'm the Jameson brand ambassador here in Australia. So it really is an absolute privilege to be at the National Live Music Awards tonight, presenting Best New Act. At Jameson, as long as I've known Jameson, and I've grown up just 20 minutes away from our distillery, I've always known Jameson to be true supporters of grassroots music, and particularly here in Australia, we love to support upcoming artists. So thanks very much for having us here this evening. Now I better go back to my script. So, all over Australia, in bedrooms, garages, lounge rooms, and practice studios, people are making music. Maybe it's just for fun, maybe it's as a hobby, or maybe that music will be heard by hundreds, thousands, or ultimately millions of people. The National Live Music Awards looks to acknowledge artists that in 2019 have stepped up from busking in the street or playing intimate venues to performing before bigger and bigger audiences, giving their music the exposure it deserves for it to be appreciated by as many people as possible. It's fair to say that each of the following nominees have had a huge last year and deserve all the recognition they have received for creating a live show that lasts in the memories of their audience. Presented by Jameson, the nominees are Carla Geneve, G Flip, Press Club, The Chats, and Tones and I. So, without further ado, and I'll get off the stage, the best new live act goes to Tones and I. Unfortunately, Tones and I can't be here because she's absolutely humongous and probably travelling in Europe. But I'll accept the award for her, so cheers.
When it comes to musical instruments, people often forget to include the most powerful one of all, the human voice. It has the ability to mesmerize, spark your imagination, and to tell a story. In this era, the integrity of the live voice has never been more important. It is so important that performers keep performing live and let their beautiful voices be heard. Please welcome to the stage to present Live Voice of the Year from Panhead Custom Ales, Lex Hyde.
presenting Live Voice of the Year with a voiceover is a strong move. Hey guys, my name's Lex. I'm here to represent Panhead Brewing. I hope everyone's been enjoying the beers this evening. Panhead certainly loves an opportunity to support live music. Tonight, we've celebrated and recognised all of the performers that make up a live act. Each member plays their part that ultimately combines to create a whole. It just so happens that all of these components are usually tied together by the voice and the lyrical content that tells the story over the soundtrack. We all go away from a gig with a lyric in our head, a voice that has affected us so deeply that we'll never forget it, and the next time we do hear it, it takes us back to that very same moment. The following nominees all have a voice that does just that. It will stay with you from the first time you hear it, and they all have that ability to tell a story and connect with the listener in a hugely powerful way. The nominees for Live Voice of the Year are Julia Jacklin, Matt Corby, Stella Donnelly, Thelma Plum, and Zachariah Fielding, Electric Fields. And the award goes to, for Live Voice of the Year, Zachariah Fielding of Electric Fields.
I am not Zachariah Fielding, obviously. Zachariah is my mullah, and I'm his judja, and I had the blessing of being literally front row center to the magic that he creates as a vocalist almost every time. And it's a pretty blessed place to be. So from Zachariah, we know each other very well. This is what I think he would say to you. He would say, Balya, know thyself, bypass the barriers, and there's room for everybody. He is a voice for the voiceless. And we're all lucky to have him.
All right. This is it. It's the big one. They're all big ones. But this one is the Live Act of the Year, presented by APRA AMCOS. And the presenter is Andrew Tuttle. Please welcome Andrew Tuttle to the stage.
Thank you. Oh, hi there. First, I'd like to acknowledge that we're on Yagala and Turrbal land, and like to pay respect to elders past, present, and those in the future, and to recognise the tens of thousands of years of amazing music and culture created by our First Nations people. There's a lot of awards, there's a lot of speaking, so I'm not going to go through the whole script, but just shout-outs to Larry and the whole NLMA team. Shout-outs to Patience, Jeremy, and Eamon. Amazing job. To all the crew, And to all the bands as well, and to anyone who actually shut up when they played. So playing at awards shows really sucks. I'm not sure if anyone who hasn't done this, it's the worst thing. So on you. Without further ado, live music is very good. Some people very, very good, including these five. So the NLMA for the National Live Act of the Year, presented by APRA AMCOS. The nominees are Amel and the Sniffers. Doing a bit of John Cage version, apparently. Hey, music. Electric Fields. Mojo Juju. Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. And Wax. And the NLMA for the Live Act of the Year. Apparently it's not everyone, outrageous, but it goes to Electric Fields.
I don't know what you just said. All right. Look, thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you very much. So this year, I think we've done, I can't remember how many, it's about 60 shows, but when 58 of them are not where you live, you spend a lot of time just away all the time. And no one ever tells you how dizzying that is and how disorienting that is. But what's really important is actually, besides sharing authentic truth beautified through music as art, is looking after the people in your band, looking after your team, your family, because it's really intense, putting your diary and your secret thoughts into songs and singing them to strangers. And so it's quite dizzying. So basically, thank you very much. And we absolutely love what we do, and we love sharing our version of what we hope the future of Australia can look like when everybody is respected, everybody is represented, and it just makes sense. It just makes a lot of sense. So, because it's not a normal kind of rectangle, it's a different one, I'm going to talk for 1 extra minute, and I'm going to thank these people. Diana Sortell is our manager. She's a bit like a guardian angel with really fucking good skills on the computer. Jamie Goldsmith is our yidaki player, didgeridoo player, and he's a Ghana man, and we write all our songs on his country in Adelaide. Grayson Rottimer is our electric guitarist. Don't tell him I said this, but he's really sexy. Love you, Daddy. And the sound engineers who treat the physics of sound as strings on an instrument. For us, that is Stephen Pitkin and Ado, and also Dion and Jay. Jay's our finance guy. And also Julianne, she books our flights. And can you tell, even though we're based in Adelaide, I'm from Lagan.
Well, that's a wrap, so thank you, everybody. Look, thank you again to the Triffid. Thank you to Larry and the National Live Music Awards crew. Thank you to the volunteers. Thank you to all of you who continue to support live music. We want to end the night by honouring a very important member of the live music community and a friend to many of the people in the room tonight, the one and only Rolo. So we have a video tribute